Thank you. I'm back. I wanted to show you faces. First of all, I want to show you the place where I was born and what we are notorious for, that everybody in the world knows this picture. It is one of the last legal lynchings ever in America. Marion, Indiana. I want to show you our friend here of what he thought of what they did. And I'm hoping that this is going to be coming out very clear for you to see. This is Marion, Indiana. And what they thought was, a cool thing to do. They broke these guys out of jail and just lynched them. And then the whole mob down there, you can hardly see them. But this here guy comes up real good, is proud of their murder. And not one single person, to my knowledge, I'm sure of it, not one single person ever was held accountable for this. And that's the reason why I'm saying that my town is the place we need to start with. Start with the dirt bottom. And that's where you're at with Marion. We can fix this. We can change this. Okay. I don't even know which group I want to start with first. Let me start with Shammy Wingo. This is Shammy Wingo. And what he did was refuse to turn state's evidence in a corrupt judge's court. Warren Haas. What that means is that you're no longer entitled to a hearing. They manipulated with his information. His paperwork were changed around and dates all changed around. Everything they wanted to do to him, they did it, and he was not even allowed a hearing. And because he wouldn't turn state's evidence, he was thrown into prison without a hearing. Shammy Wingo. This person here is Kimmy. My son and him share the same name. Kimmy Weatherspoon. His is a person. He's a human. He was fired. And the reason why he was fired is because a young girl at McCalla hung herself. And he was having pity on the family and trying to help them make sense of what happened and let them know that she was bullied and that he did try to help. And this man suffered greatly with no money and no justice, because you're not allowed to be black in this town and share information with the family to try to, help them come up out of their grief. Okay, here's another group right here. This is a fireman. I believe the nickname they called him was Nicky, but he was on his job, I'm supposing minding his business. I don't know, but this is what I do know. This man here made a rope and a noose, and then he threw it at him. Okay? And you know what our city said? This man can't be fired. They gave him time off, and he came back and took a little demotion. Look at what happened to our First Lady. I believe they just said she looked like a monkey. At least that wasn't threatening her life. He lost his job. But in Marion, Indiana, when you have this face, you can't lose your job for threatening this kind of face. That's how America is. Okay? Then, with the poverty, see, this is why it's so deep. This is not just a black thing. With poverty, this young woman here lost her life because it didn't matter. Her life didn't matter, not to her community and not to the people who held her incarcerated. This is our newspaper, what they called her, Grant County inmate dies. Listen, people, let me tell you a trick that all of these writers do that they know. They want to make it so that you look like dirt as they destroy you. Okay? Why couldn't they have just said young woman dies while in custody? They had to make it where people would be detached. She got what she deserved. Nobody deserves to be in jail. She never had a hearing, and she never killed anybody. So, I mean, to have her crying that I can't breathe, I have asthma, which they knew she had asthma. They knew she had asthma, and she couldn't breathe, and she called her mother. I'm thinking it was around 8 or 9 or something like that at night. And she was not allowed medical attention until, this is a breathing problem. This isn't like the broke arm, that she was sitting there with a broke arm, or that they had busted her nose. This is that she can't breathe. And they left her in that condition until the next morning, and she died. And I was told that the jailer who did this said that she did nothing wrong, that she was just doing her job. And see, this is why I'm trying to say that Black lives, poor people, disabled people, people that can't speak for themselves, we don't count in America. And I am wanting to get this word out. This is another person that was taken advantage of in Indiana. All of this has happened in the state of Indiana. That's the only reason why I put Mike Tyson on there. Everybody knows that Mike Tyson, what do you call it? The evidence. We don't go by evidence in the state of Indiana. I'm telling you straight up. We do not go by evidence. And by not going by evidence, that's the reason why we were able to convict a man, an asshole. He was an asshole, but an asshole doesn't make you a rapist. And we convicted him because we don't have to go by evidence, and we don't have to care what the truth is. In my case, I went to, I've always been with my mom, and everything that I've ever lived and done, it had always been me and my mother. And due to the power of a pothead, high school dropout, to talk, he could talk a good game. He was able to convince them that I was crazy and that I was a thief, a known thief. He actually submitted words to that I was a known thief in Marion, Indiana. And I promise you, not one person would ever even say that I remotely stole something from them, let alone ever did anything of a theft type situation. But my mother, they didn't care about her, you know. And now what they've done is they've let him take her down rock bottom. The plant behind my mom and my daughter was started as a wee, tiny little, like 10-inch plant there. And it was from the grave of my grandmother of 1989. He killed it. The 3 dogs that my mom had, all gone. Some of them dead, some of them, we don't know what happened to them. But there were 3 dogs that my mother had. Everything that she had is all gone. The court was told, literally, my brother does not like my mom. That when my mother went to court against him to have his children taken away, he told me, fuck that bitch. She's no mother of mine. And then right before, he was pretending that he loved her so much, even while she had dementia. My mother forgot that she had no relationship with my brother and went to my brother's house to ask him to rejoin in relationships with his daughter, who he had problems with due to his prejudice and discrimination, or his prejudice against her children. So he told my mother that he told her, fuck you. That all of this problem of him not getting along with his kids was her fault anyway. My mother comes home crying to me with dementia. I call my mom, I call my brother, and I ask him, do you know what mom is saying? She said that you told her to fuck herself. And he said, yeah, I'm sorry. She just brought back old memories. How many old memories do you think my mother has brought back since she's been a slave to my brother? Everything she's worked for, he has destroyed it and turned her whole life into nothing. The courts are going to lie that my mother's insurance policy never existed because they called and told me they can't find it. They have let my brother take everything. She has absolutely nothing financially. They just let him use her. There was an issue of rape, which I don't know if it occurred or not. If you would have asked me before all of this happened, could my brother possibly do what he did? 100%, I would have said, no, it's impossible. I don't know what he's capable of doing when it comes to money. Did a rape occur? I don't know. But I did set in on the rape kit. And during the rape kit, what the lady said was that for 1 hour, she questioned a dementia woman. And the dementia woman said for 1 hour, I'm married to Gigi. Gigi's my husband. And he said that if I tell anybody about what we're doing, the police, I'm going to be in trouble with the police. Over and over for 1 hour, my mother was asked, and for 1 hour, those were her statements. She didn't repeat what she had said on video about having sex with him, but she did continuously repeat that he was her husband and that that he said that to tell anybody they would be in trouble with the police. So the rape kit specialist said that my mother should not be put in that situation. She should not go back there. But due to the corruption of the judge, Warren Haas, due to the incompetence and corruption of her guardians, Future Choices, Inc., nobody cares about my mom. Until today, we had a choice of living with her in abuse or just letting go. And I tried it for the longest, from February until, I believe, around the last of September, 1st of October. I tried to live with the abuse that she was going through and the hell of it all. But with dementia, it's already bad enough to deal with that. The abuse as well, for over 6 years now that we've lived in it, shouldn't have to be. And there's nobody that can stop it. They know that this judge is crazy, but nobody can stop it. You see? So what I'm saying to you is that as long as America is killing the lives of her people and saying it's okay to destroy these lives, it's okay, they don't count. Forget it. Forget these lives. Forget everybody you see here. I'm trying to tell you that no life anywhere is going to have peace because it's too much corruption, and the American people need to powerfully step up from their smallest communities, and say that they're going to unite, get up and personal, and love one another, and just make it happen. I'm going to be posting several videos like this to hopefully make a difference, where we can understand that we can't let them get away with what they are doing. We can't let them get away with this, because as long as they're killing us, there's more of us that are coming along and killing and destroying and it's just going downhill. And my favorite saying of what America lives like is a snake that feeds on its own tail. That's how we live in America. And the bad, pitiful thing is, why would you not let this guy here have a voice on the paper? Why couldn't Shammy Wingo have a voice? There's others that I don't even have their pictures. There's so many of them. I'm going to name Dwayne Rogers because I know he's another one that would love to. As a matter of fact, he filed a restraining order against the judges and some other officials, and because he filed a restraining order, the judge that the order was filed against, Warren Haas, ordered that he come in or he will go to prison. Whoever heard of such a thing? Now, I've heard the other person has to come in or they can go to jail. I didn't mean prison. They could go to jail. But this judge sent in writing that if you don't show up for the request to my, that you want me to be restrained from you, I forget the word now for it, but anyways, he was asking for an order of protection. That's what I was trying to come up with. And for asking for an order of protection, he wrote, it's in writing, that he would go to jail if he didn't show up. Whoever heard of such thing? It's only in a state, well, not only in the state of Indiana, but only in America where the judicial corruption is running amok and nobody is doing anything about it. It's time this Judge Warren Haas is taken down. He destroyed my family. The years that we've lost, the places my mom could have gone and where she would be today is so far, so very, very far away from the destruction that she's living in now. So how is that fair? Oh, I forgot. I'm black, I'm poor, and I'm disabled. So therefore, in America, I don't count.